Yep.
Remember that?
Oh yeah.
I thought that was a great idea, but I didn't have the time to, you know, and I couldn't get a patent on it anyways. There was a clip like that for refrigeration that pretty much took that idea out.
Sure, and it was close to like a core board type of scenario too, but I took it to the next level with the diamond fur stuff, and
I was looking at it,
and it has its legs, and it's the only complete thing that's out there, and it's the only thing that is tested. So I have a lot of contractors now that are on design build, design assist. They're looking at these jobs, they look at these details, they're very generic. They'll show what happens in the field, they don't show what happens at the doors and windows and so forth. And what they're doing is they're actually promoting my product now.
Good.
And so it's good for all parties. It's good for the subcontractor, the general, and the architect. And the bottom line is the owner. He's going to get a good product at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So that's a moving target. That even in residential, that code has kicked in now. So they have to get these higher R ratings, and you're familiar with one coat.
Yeah.
It's been around for a long time. They were doing that shit in the 70s.
Yeah.
Over in Phoenix is basically where that was kind of the birthplace of it.
Yeah, where it's 120 degrees in the summertime. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
And now a lot of these builders, well, they have to do it. They have to prove it. Otherwise, they can't get their completion notices. So they have to hop on the bus.
Got to comply.
Exactly. To get that done. But that's all 3/8. With 1-20 wire and stuff like that. But it's kicked in.
Yeah.
They do a lot of it up in Northern California here. And again, they've been doing it for 30 plus years in Phoenix, and it's been big in Nevada for a long time as well because of these hot areas.
I built a home out at the river in '96, and I went and got a cellulose machine, and I blew every wall, 6-inch studs, every wall completely full with cellulose, and probably put about this much in the attic. And it was called an Arizona Good Sense home, and if you complied to the Good Sense program and did everything like they told you to, they would lower your energy bill. And you could show up when it was 110 degrees, walk in there, flip on the air, and it'd get down to 78 or 77 and just kick off, and it was like you're in a cave.
No shit.
Yeah. It was
highly insulated.
Yeah, big time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of things you can do to provide that.
Sure. Sure. You still got that place down there?
I sold it in 2001 in order to buy that industrial building I used to have on Irwindale Avenue.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Did you sell that place on Irwindale?
I did.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, I moved back to it, licked my wounds for a while, downsized everything, and when the economy started ramping up again, there was a shortage of 5,000 to 10,000 square foot industrial buildings, and some Chinese people paid cash for it, and I went back to the building I'm in now, and now I don't owe any money on my building.
That's a beautiful thing. And that you did a hell of a nice job on that that building that you're in. That interior is frickin' really, really nice.
Yeah, we thought that architects would want to come look at that like a mock-up, but
sure,
bad call. It looks good. But,
yeah. If you're in there every day, why not make it look great?
Yeah.
Yeah. One and done. So that turned out really nice.
Thank you.
That turned out really, really, it's very impressive.
Thanks, Rob.
Do you guys do Venetian?
We do. Yeah. Again, not that often. It's not called for that often. But,
no, it's very expensive.
Yeah, we probably do it a couple of times a year somewhere.
Like feature walls and stuff like that.
Hotels, stuff like that. But
sure.
I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, are they going to keep building anchor stores at the malls, or are hotels gonna? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what we're going to be doing.
That's yet to be seen.
Or are we going to continue to have the need for all this office space when everybody's working at home?
I don't think so.
I don't know. I'm just glad I'm 57 years old and I'm almost done, you know?
Mm-hmm. Oh, so you have a plan for retirement?
I don't plan on completely retiring for quite a while, but right now I'm selling my home, and I'm going to buy a place down at the desert, and I have a rental, little 3-bedroom rental that I'm going to use when I'm up here.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to be able to go down to the desert from like November to May. It's only an hour and 15 minutes where I'm looking. Leave, you know, Wednesday morning, come back Sunday night, you know, work Monday and Tuesday.
Sure.
Something like that.
That's a good schedule.
Yeah, I'd like to do something like that, not completely out of the game, you know, because they need my assets to bond the work.
Sure.
And if they're using my assets, I'm going to keep my finger on the pulse, you know.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Now, is Scott, you know, he's getting up there.
Scott's 67, yeah, and he wants to work. He's, you know, that's just how he is.
Got it.
Yeah.
So he has no desire to retire.
No, not right now.
He's in it.
Mm-mm.
He's in it.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. Good
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah.
Good for you. That way you can do that Wednesday gig. Get down there, leave before traffic.
Scott works hard.
Yeah, he's a very conscientious man.
And he takes a vacation every here and there, you know. But yeah, he's a good man.
Yeah, very knowledgeable guy, and takes pride in what he does.
Yes, he does.
You know, wants to do
Well,
it
he
the
can
right
see
way.
he can see problems coming long before the rest of us. You know?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. And sometimes that's a good thing,
Yeah.
and sometimes it's a bad thing.
Sometimes it causes problems that don't need to happen, but it's always in our best interest.
Absolutely.
You know? Yeah.
Absolutely. Just covering your butt.
Yep.
You know, to make sure that, you know, because sometimes, you know, if you have an estimator that knows the field very well, right? He's looking at every single thing that can happen.
That's how Scott is.
So now you're not getting any work because you're bidding it too high. You know?
Well, sometimes he can see things that are coming that the GC can't, you know, and it works to our favor sometimes too.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. You know, especially if they appreciate what you've pointed out to them.
Right.
You know, and they
that's another thing I'm just not getting used to is going to a job site meeting with a bunch of young men that are young enough to be my kids.
That's tough. That's tough.
It's just where we're at. You know, that's where I'm at.
Yeah,
you know?
well, that's time, right?
Yep.
And the thing is you're probably not a graph guy, right? So when they're showing you a graph of where you should be on this certain date, no, it doesn't work that way, guy.
Yeah.
You know, how come you're not at this place on the date that you showed where you should be?
Or hey, why didn't you include cure times? You know, just
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, that's difficult. And back in the day, you didn't have to do that.
Right.
Right? They knew. The guys knew. And, you know, we talk about that a lot on these, where these guys that are running these massive projects for the GCs worked in the field. And they understood.
And they know. Yeah.
They understood sequencing and the real shit that goes down out there. And they weren't looking at graphs. You know, they got hot, sweaty, and cut, and
everything's sequenced correctly, and everybody gets their productions. And you know, there's still general contractors that have those kind of people. They're still around.
Sure.
But
they're overseeing those young guys.
Yes. But sometimes you land on the wrong job, and regardless of what you try to sell and how you try to do it, it's just not gonna. You're not gonna make much money. You know?
Sure. It's tough.
Yeah.
You can kind of pick those right out of the gate.
Yeah. First visit.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like, oh boy, here we go.
Here we go again. Yeah. Same bull, different address, you know.
Yeah, I hear you.
I almost said a cuss word there. Oops.
That's okay. You can do that. You can do that shit on this. You can do that. There's no rules, man.
Okay, I was going to say same bullshit, different address. That's all.
Perfect. You're in compliance. So you must be a hell of a golfer. Sounds like that's your fun hobby.
I've done a lot of things, and at about age 35, I decided that golf is probably the best for me because I can't blow a knee, get a concussion, you know, tear my rotator, any of that stuff. And I realized at age 35 that 4 or 5 hours with someone you want to do business with is valuable. It's,
for sure.
You know, and I started golfing with one of my environmental accounts. I learned at Industry Hills, and I still work with that guy today.
Is that right?
That was
wow.
Yeah, that was, he just retired, but I mean that was 25 years ago. I don't know,
Yeah. That's a tough course.
22 years ago. The Eisenhower can be tough, yeah. And the Ike, or the other one, what's the other one? The Babe? I don't care for that one. Yeah. But yeah, I started playing golf at age 35. I've been at 2 country clubs, you know, and I like being a member of a country club. I like knowing everybody, and I like the network that it provides as far as like if you need a new car, that's the guy, or you know,
Sure.
or flooring or whatever.
Yeah.
Everybody helps each other. If somebody's doing an addition to their house, I'll send my guys over, you know, pay them cash, whatever. I like that environment.
Yeah. Does your wife play?
She does. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So you guys go out there, and when you go on vacations and stuff, she plays.
Yes. Yeah.
That's awesome. Is she good?
She's okay. You know, she has a lot of fun.
Yeah.
She's just a fun-loving woman, you know.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't say she's extremely athletic, you know, but she has a lot of fun playing golf. You know?
And that's what it's all about.
That's all it's about. Yeah.
Exactly. Just when you think you got that shit down, man, you're shooting a 12.
Yep.
That's how that goes. So when you had your place at the river, obviously you were into the boating world.
Yeah. Yeah. Had a 24-foot Hallet, had a dune buggy, had, you know, dirt bikes, all that stuff.
Right.
And I woke up one day and I had the opportunity to buy the building on Irwindale Avenue, and that made a lot more sense anyways. But I got up one day and just said, I don't need any of this anymore. I don't need to pay all these registrations and maintain all this stuff. And that was really easy to let go of. You know?
Got it. Yeah. Been there, done that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Well, it's too long a drive, you know.
Yeah.
It's 3 hours and 20 minutes from my house. So.
Yeah. No matter how you cut it.
No,
right?
I'd rather have a vacation home at the desert, and it's an hour and 15 minutes. I can do that.
Sure.
You know.
Yeah, you put the miles in going. So was it in Parker?
No, Fort Mojave, a place called Los Lagos. It's a gated community with 3 man-made lakes. Probably 10 minutes from Topak Launch. Or you can go up and take the express loop around and launch at Catherine's Landing on Lake Mojave.
Got it.
Or launch at Needles. It gave me a lot of options. At the time, I couldn't afford to buy a home right there on the water. But then I thought you'd hear all the noise all the time. You know, just I liked where I built. I still have a lot there. We were out there 2 weeks ago just to look at the development and see what's taken place last couple of years.
Is it blowing up out there? Or?
It is right now, yeah. But I don't see that continuing. I don't see that continuing. I have a friend who used to come out to my river place all the time, and he was really upset. Him and his kids, they'd come out all the time, and he was upset when I sold it. And I go, we're on the phone, and I go, well, why don't you buy a lot and build a house out there, and I'll come freeload. And he goes, how about if I buy half the lot and we do it together? I'm like, okay. So he showed up on my doorstep about half an hour later with a grocery bag with 30 grand in it, cash.
So you were in.
Yeah, he owns half. We're partners on it now.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Wow. Wow. Are you building? Or is it just still raw?
No, we're still having a conversation about it.
Got it.
He has lots of grandkids that are small, and he thinks he wants to build another house out there and you know, have fun with the grandkids.
Got it.
Me, no, I don't want to drive out there.
Sure.
Yeah.
No matter how you cut it, man, it's still 200 mile around or one way.
Yep.
Right, to get out there. And I was the same way because I'd spent a lot of time down there as well.
Yeah.
Did you buy your Hallet from brand new from Hallet?
No, I bought it from a fireman down in Palm Desert. and I had it probably 8 years, that boat. I had a jet boat before that, and when I sold it, I lost $500 on the deal. That's how those things hold their value.
They really do.
Yeah.
They really do. And especially when you take care of them.
Yep.
So if a fireman owned it, he took care of it.
He took great care of it. It was in great shape, and it was named Margaritaville.
Got it. Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fun down there. Spent a lot of time just like you, and just got burned out.
Yeah.
It's just.
It got to where I didn't really want to launch my boat anymore from Saturday morning till Sunday at 1, because there's so many boats and so much going on, and
Sure.
you know, people getting killed, and just and then with those limitations, you just kind of lose interest. You know?
For sure. Well, nobody told you how to stop. You did it on your own.
Yep.
Which was good. And again, you know, getting rid of all of that stuff and then investing in
It
was a no-brainer.
When I started Versatile, I needed more than my father loaned me. I had a Stingray Corvette, 72. I had a Lance, 12-foot Lance camper and a crew cab dually, and you know, a bunch of. I built a mid-engine sandrail in my garage from the frame up, and never even got to take it to Glamis. I sold everything.
No shit.
Yeah, except the because I needed the money. Except for the Corvette. It was another recession, and I couldn't. You know, the car's only worth what the buyer will pay. You know?
Sure.
So I drove it. Well, I didn't drive it down to Marina Del Rey. I went into the Harley Davidson shop, just looking around. I was doing a job down there, and I see out in the back they got a bunch of old Camaros, you know, muscle cars. And I asked the salesman, "What's the deal?" And it's Bartell's Harley Davidson, and he goes, "Bill Bartell's sells those cars overseas." I go, "Really? Think he'd be interested in a '72 Stingray? Bring it in." I brought it in the next day, and I rode home on a Heritage Softail, straight across. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, my wife Yolanda and I have rode to Sturgis 4 times.
Is that right?
Yeah, yeah.
No shit.
Yeah,
that's a long haul, dude.
She's done a lot of cool things with me. She's skydived. She's my dive buddy. We've been to dive sites all over the place. Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is really awesome to have a wife like that. My wife's like that as well.
Good.
Yeah. She wants to have fun.
Yeah.
And have the experience. And you're obviously not going to put her in a situation where she's going to get hurt.
That's why we don't ride anymore. You know, we've seen some bad stuff. You know.
Yeah.
I don't ride anymore because California roads are horrible.
Sure.
And I got to where I wouldn't ride around here. So anything, I mean, if we were going to go riding, it had to be a 6-day ride, because we're going to ride through the desert for a day, going wherever we're going. Anywhere you go, you got to ride through the desert for a day. You know.
Yeah.
It just got to where people are getting divorced, or the recession, whatever. A lot of the people that I used to ride with don't ride anymore, and every bike I've ever bought, I've sold off to my superintendent for a good deal. So he got my last bike, and I'm done. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Good for you. Good for you. I'm glad you had a good time. Man, that's a long frickin' run from
it's just
California.
It's comfortable. It's 3 days. You go all the way out to 40 to Gallup. You go up that highway through Durango, Silverton, and then there's Ouray. You ever been to Ouray, Colorado?
No.
They call it Little Switzerland. It's something else. But
have to put that on
it's
the
3
list.
days.
Yeah. Any bad weather?
Oh yeah. A few monsoons. Yeah. I've seen lightning hit the ground like 40 yards away. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
We've seen a lot of stuff. Yeah. We've seen hail big enough to where you had to pull over under a tree and just go like that.
Oh my God. Wow. Well, you're in the elements, right?
Yeah.
There's, where's a bridge?
Yeah.
We need to get under that. Well, dude, sounds like you've had one hell of a career.
Thank you.
And you still have some time to go.
Yeah.
And you're still digging it.
I'm still,
You're in the game.
I'm in a good spot. Yeah.
And you've had a lot of fun on the way.
I have.
which is really nice to hear. And it really is nice to hear that you have a great partner with you that you're enjoying your life with.
Thank you.
That's really awesome.
Nice to hear that you have one as well.
Yeah, no, that makes life great. You know, when you have that, and especially when they like to have fun too. You know, and want to go and do those adventures.
I'll tell you, I've got some king seats, season seats at the Kings. Now we can't go.
Sure.
But for a long time, you know, I would want to get to know one of my customers a little better, and I just say, bring your wife, meet me at the Palm. You know, we'll go eat dinner at the Palm and then walk to the Kings game, and all I got to do is bring my wife, and everybody's having a good time. You know. Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. I really appreciate you taking some time out of your day to come down here and tell your story. Well, thank you for having me, Rob.
You know,
I appreciate it.
The industry needs to hear guys like you, and trying to get as many of them in here as I possibly can, so that they can share their stories.
I enjoy listening. I've watched a few of your podcasts, and I've enjoyed it. You know?
Thank you very much.
You learn more about these people than you would know, like Bob Heimrel, or you know, there's so many that you've already interviewed. It's awesome, but all these men have really good stories.
They do. They really do. They're kind of the same, but they're unique in their own way. You know, and the common thread is the industry. We're all in the same industry. And, you know, Bob even said to me, he says, who the hell is going to watch this? I go, I didn't make this shit for you old guys. I made it for the young generation so that they can pick up on this stuff.
Right.
And he goes, oh, well, that makes sense. So he had a good time, and everybody, I really appreciate everybody taking the time to do it. And I'm going to keep doing it.
All right.
All right, Bob. Thanks
for
again.
having me.